time that we've muted ourselves and filmed a bunch of videos? We should have read a book on how to use a microphone. Am I right? Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
books.
Exactly. Bet you all didn't know that before Jeff and I were Foster the Meeple, we were Ermagerd Burks.
Don't go and look at any of those.
I've changed the title. I've changed the channel name. Our plan is to film stuff over there. Have we done it yet? No.
We never
will we? Probably. It's a step in the right direction that I've changed the name. Anywho, we're getting way off topic. Today we're here to do a pumped up coming to retail. Today's video is a preview on Ex Libris, which some of you are probably like, wait a minute, I've heard of this game before.
This is a revised edition.
From yesteryear, is what people are thinking.
Not that long ago.
Many moons ago.
Many moons have passed.
Many moons
That is
have
true.
passed.
Many moons have passed.
Exactly. So today we are going to be talking about Ex Libris, which is the revised edition or the second edition of this game, which originally came out in 2017.
Correct.
This video is kindly sponsored by Renegade Games, who publish Ex Libris, so thank you to Renegade Games for sponsoring this video. Now, as per usual, with our preview videos, we are going to give you an overview of the game, and then we are going to have a discussion to, help you figure out whether or not this game is right for you. All right, so let's jump into that overview.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Ex Libris, where the magic of books come to life. The mayor has an announcement. He is thrilled to unveil the new seat on the village council. The Grand Librarian, a prestigious and lucrative position, awaits the resident with the most extraordinary library. But beware, your book collector acquaintances are also in the running. To outshine the competition, expand your personal library by sending your assistants on a quest for the most impressive tomes. Sources for the finest books are scarce, so beat your opponents to the punch, especially if they match your library's secret focus. Time is ticking. The mayor's official inspector is on her way to judge your library, and she's a tough cookie, evaluating your library on alphabetical order, shelf stability, prominent works, and variety. And don't think she'll turn a blind eye to banned books. To become the Grand Librarian, you'll need to outsmart your colleagues and impress the discerning official inspector. Embrace the magic, embark on the quest, and claim your place as the Grand Librarian in Ex Libris. Okay, so we are back, and now it's time to talk about Ex Libris, okay? So, for anybody that doesn't know, if you haven't played this game before, you are essentially building out a library. And that library has some really interesting books in it. Let me tell you.
Ultimately, the theme in this game is that you are trying to recreate a library for the mayor, I believe.
The mayor of Halloween
And the
Town.
Mayor is basically going to audit your library at the end of the game. So the mayor has specific conditions that they're looking for, which can change from game to game. So in some games, basically at the beginning of the game, you're going to play out two of the different categories of books. One is going to be preferred, and one is going to be not preferred.
Banned books.
Banned books, and you're going to score based off of those two things. There's a bunch of other different scoring conditions that I won't get into, but that's the basic premise. You're building out a library of cards, and those cards normally have to be from top to bottom, A to Z.
Yes, and with ascending numbers. So every letter in the alphabet has a specific number of cards in the deck that you could possibly pull. So you'll pull a card, let's say it's A, it might say A, 1 of 7. So if you are building out your library from A to Z, you couldn't have a 3 out of 7, then a 1 out of 7, because that's not right. That's not how libraries work.
Now, you could do that, but it's not going to score at the end of the game. So one of the first things that happens at the end of the game is each player is going to check the alphabetization of the library.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have A and A next to each other, but to Jamie's point, it would need to be A2 of 7, let's say, and then next to it would need to be A3 of 7. So first thing you check is the letter. The next thing you check is the number.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you could place those out of order. But what would happen is that card that's out of order is going to flip and basically negate scoring. Anywho, we're kind of going into the end game scoring without talking about the actual mechanisms of the game, which is worker placement.
Yeah!
So each round you are going to be basically playing out different location tiles that each player collectively can put their little gnomes onto. And most of those locations are going to let you either draw new book cards or shelve those book cards into your bookshelf. That's the basic premise of the game. There's some auction sites that will let you do unique things. There's some that might let you trade with cards that are on the middle of the table. But that's basically it. You're going to be going to these worker spots in order to get the best cards that you possibly can in your hand, the best collection of books, so that you then can shelve those books into your library.
Yes, and you have 3 workers that you can place. So you place one, the next person places one, and so on. You have 3. And there is a tile or 2 that could potentially get you a worker back that you can then replace it. But in general, you have 3 workers to place.
We have not played the original, so take that context for what it is. This does also have some asymmetrical characters that each player can play. So instead of just using 3 basic gnomes, there's like a witch, a
wizard,
gelatinous blob, a wizard,
and a mummy.
And they all have some sort of asymmetry that they can bring to your game. So again, I don't know if that was in the original version. I feel like it wasn't, but something to consider. But yeah, that's the basic premise of the game. It's a pretty straightforward worker placement where you are trying to build a library with certain conditions that you have to meet in order to optimize your score.
Every person at the beginning of the game also gets one of their own preferred books. So as an example, you might draw reference books, which are the blue books. So that's hidden to everybody else. But you may want to draw and shelve more blue books than everybody else because you're actually going to score 2 times the points for the amount of blue books that you shelve. So really, like, this game is kind of a big puzzle, essentially, because you're shelving books, and realistically, like Jeff said, you can, in theory, put any book anywhere, but you might not score points for it if you do that. So you're trying to score for your largest rectangle, so that's one thing that you need to think about.
Yeah, the bonus for structurally sound bookshelves.
Because, of course, like, you are welcome to put a shelf here and nothing underneath it, but, like, other shelves around it, but this shelf has no support. And so it can't be included in your biggest rectangle area. So you also need to think not only that you're building a biggest rectangle, which can only be 3 shelves high, by the way, you're also having to make sure that everything is supported. And then if you want to score points, which you're playing a game, I don't know why you wouldn't want to score points, you are also trying to make sure that everything is in alphabetical order and in numerical order based on the numbers on the alphabet cards. And sometimes you might not get a letter that you need for a really long time, so you almost have to, like, visualize what your shelf could be. And you can spend the whole game waiting for a C, which I did the other night, and the C never came, but sometimes that just happens. So you're thinking about that. Then you're also thinking about your preferred card. You're thinking about the mayor's preferred card, and you're also trying to make sure that you don't take the banned books because those are negative points at the end of the game. And then you're going to start paying attention to what everybody else is doing, because there's certain cards where people can, like, say a type of book that they want, and they'll be drawing cards. So I'm like, oh, Jeff wants the monster manuals, which are the red books. So I might start trying to steal all of those, or I might try to fill somebody up with, like, a different card that's banned or whatever. So there's just a lot to think about in this game. So it's very puzzly.
Yeah, and there's a few other things I want to mention quickly. One, like, the amount of cards from A to Z are not equal. So I think there's only like 2 Z cards in the game. You might be fishing through trying to get a Z, and it's in someone's hand. Both cards are in someone's hand. You're not going to get them.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think is somewhat unique, and I don't know if I've seen this in other games. I probably have, but I can't recall it, is each round, like I said, there's going to be locations times the amount of players put out in front of you. But those locations do not stay round over round. Only one of those is going to stay out each round. So in round 1, you're going to have, if it's a 3-player game, 3 locations to pick from during that round. In the second round, 2 of those are going to go away, 1's going to stay, and then you're going to pull 3 more. So then you have 4 locations. The round after that, 1 of those 3 will stay, so you'll have 2 permanent locations and 3 more new locations to choose from. So the worker placement spots actually increase. They grow as rounds turn over.
Yes.
And it's also one of those things, like if you keep searching for specific cards, someone could be racing to endgame. So this game ends, the last round is triggered as soon as someone has, depending on player count, but in a 4-player game, 14 cards in their library. Once that hits, the next round is the final round, regardless of how many books you have in your library.
Yeah.
So you really have to be paying attention to how quickly other people are building their libraries.
Yes, and it's a good point too, because everybody has their own player board with 3 worker placement spots that allow you to either draw a card or shelve a card. So no matter what, you always have those 3 spots that you can do, but this is a true worker placement game. So you can't bump somebody off.
Unless
you can't.
It says otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah. There's limited spaces. Like some of the locations that come out have 1 space. So you really need to think about what you want and what you're trying to do. Oh, and I also just want to mention, I've already kind of mentioned it a little bit, but this is just a fun thing. Every single one of the books on the shelves has a unique title, like oddly shaped ghosts is one of the titles, as an example.
One was Dune, but Doon.
Yeah.
I thought that one was funny.
So I will say that if you get this game, you play this game, please spend some time reading the titles because they will give you all the giggles. They're very funny.
Yeah.
Now, who is this game for?
I think this game is for anyone that's looking for... I do feel like there's a lot going on in the game, but it's lighter fare. It's not super difficult to get tabled or teach. If you like kind of light, medium, limited interaction puzzle games, because, I mean... You can block spots, but like you can't be super mean in this game. You know, you just can't. So I think light, medium. If you like light to medium puzzly games, if you're into the theme, definitely I feel like the theme pops in this game. Worth checking out.
Yeah, a few things to note. It does take up a lot of table space.
It does, yeah.
So be mindful. This isn't a game that you can play on like an airplane table. As an example. But yes, if you're into puzzly games, if you don't mind a little AP, if you are prone to analysis paralysis, be warned, because you can always make the shelves better. You can always make the shelves better. So some people, that is what will be turning in their mind as they play it. So if that's something that you struggle with, just take that into consideration. The game does play solo as well. So if you're looking for a solo puzzle, I haven't tried it solo yet, but I am looking forward to doing that hopefully soon. So if you're looking for something that you can play as a solo puzzle game there's different challenges and achievements that you can try and do in it. So if that's something for you, then it could be for you.
I know, we've not played the original version, but I know one of the biggest complaints about the original version was how small the text was on the locations. The text is still pretty small on the locations.
Yeah.
It is difficult to read, but it does come with a big reference card that you can pass around to people to be able to better decipher the locations.
It is a good point. So if you struggle with your vision and you find it really hard to read small print, just know that there is a reference card that you can hang on to, but there is only one of those in the box. However, you could, if you wanted to, photocopy a few and laminate them and stuff, but just so everybody is aware of that.
But yeah, the reference cards, I'm not kidding, it's very large.
It's a page, big page. Double-sided.
So just wanted to quickly note that because I know people have mentioned that about the original copy.
Yes. So that is Ex Libris, the revised edition. If you are interested in this game, we will make sure to put all the links, everything down below. It is currently available for pre-order, and it is coming directly to retail, so you can pre-order it now. When it becomes available, then you can order it, because that's how shopping works. Did you know?
Yeah.
I knew that too.
The more you know.
The more you know. Now, if you're interested in other board games, and this one included when it comes to retail, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is...
The Boardroom Game Cafe.
Yes, it is. I know another one of our friendly local gaming stores, Lancelot Games, has had the original copy of Ex Libris.
I've never seen it there.
You haven't? I have picked it up so many times. And now it's gone, so somebody's bought it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Because we went the other day, and I looked for it, and it was gone. But anyways, it will be at your friendly local gaming store soon. Do you enjoy snacks?
Of course I do.
Oh, that's amazing. Where do people even get snacks these days?
MunchPak.
MunchPak? From around the world?
Indeed.
Do you think people could get money off of MunchPak?
They could.
Well, we have a coupon. Did you know that?
I did.
Just Foster the Meeple. You get $5 off, and what a perfect month, because it is their 10-year anniversary. And you can get a golden ticket, which holds so many prizes. $1,000 Visa card. How about an iPad? Yes, that's one of the prizes. An iPad, a MacBook. Like, these are cool prizes. So if you're considering it, this might be the month to do it, is all I'm saying.
Smart.
Basically. That is everything that we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye!
Later days.
To read books? So your silence is a yes. I asked you a question. Do you like to read books?
I do.
Do you like to read books about...
Have you noticed how low the mic is?
Hello?
La 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 la.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Why? It was turned all the way the other way. That's fine. I can turn that up and post in the other one.
Okay.
Oh, Jeff. My hair is disgusting looking. Why do you let me look like this?
I don't control how you look. You choose. You choose to look the way you look.
It's not getting any better. And it's not going to get any better. Everybody deal with it. Here we go now. What? Behind. Jeff, do you know what I could do?
What?
I could rewatch Final Girl. New Girl. My entire day is consumed by Final Girl.
I don't... What? Why were you referencing New Girl?
Behind.
No, but like, what do you mean you could rewatch it? Of course you could. Why couldn't you?
I just feel like right now I could rewatch
I see
it.
what you're saying.
Okay.
Why don't you do it then?
I'm gonna maybe after Vampire Diaries.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. It's a tick.
Yeah.
Tick tock on the clock. Something party. Don't stop. The party. I walk in.